Let me ask you something that might feel a little uncomfortable. If your income suddenly doubled tomorrow, would your financial stress actually disappear? Most people instinctively say yes. But when you look at real life, especially in the US and Europe, that's usually not what happens. Stress just upgrades. Bigger apartment, better car, nicer vacations. Same anxiety, just more expensive. Because for most people, the real issue isn't income, it's expectations. Imagine a fairly normal situation. You're in your late 20s or early 30s. You live in a city like Chicago, Berlin, London, or Toronto. You earn around $70,000 a year before tax, or the local equivalent. After taxes, insurance, and pension contributions, you take home maybe $4,000 a month. Rent or mortgage takes $1,400. Utilities, internet, phone, another $300. A car payment or public transport pass, $400. Groceries and eating out $600. Student loans or credit cards, $300 before you've done anything irresponsible. You're already close to $3,000. What's left is supposed to cover clothes, travel, gifts, subscriptions, emergencies, and some version of enjoying life. And this is where people quietly panic, not because they're bad with money, but because their expectations were never designed for this math. Most people assume that once they reach a certain income, life should feel comfortable, not luxurious, just easy. But modern middle-class life is built around a default lifestyle that assumes constant upgrades, a better phone every few years, a car that feels respectable, vacations that look good in photos, an apartment that doesn't feel temporary. None of these choices feel reckless on their own. The mistake isn't overspending. It's assuming this version of normal is affordable just because it's common. Here's the quiet math most people never do. $400 car payment isn't $400. Over 5 years, it's closer to $25,000 after interest, insurance differences, and depreciation. That extra $500 per month to live in a nicer area isn't just $500. Over 10 years, it's $60,000. Not wasted, but committed. Committed to maintaining an image of stability rather than building actual stability. This isn't a discipline problem. It's a psychological one. Humans adapt quickly. What once felt like a luxury becomes the baseline. Once your life upgrades, downgrading feels like failure, even if the numbers say it's rational. There's also social pressure, especially in professional environments. You don't want to look like you're struggling when everyone else seems fine. So people optimize for looking settled, not for being secure. And because the stress is normalized, no one talks about it openly. The real cost shows up later. When income growth slows, but expenses stay locked in, when a job loss becomes a crisis instead of an inconvenience, when investing feels impossible, not because you don't earn enough, but because everything is already spoken for. Years pass, salaries rise, net worth barely moves. Not because people are careless, but because expectations kept pace with every raise. Financially intelligent people aren't immune to lifestyle pressure. They just separate comfort from status. They ask quieter questions. Does this purchase reduce future flexibility? Am I buying convenience or reassurance? Would my life actually be worse without this? They don't aim to look successful early. They aim to feel unpressured later. Their lives often look ordinary from the outside, but calm on the inside. So if money feels tight, even though you're earning decently, it doesn't mean you're failing. Usually means your expectations were shaped by a system that benefits spending, not stability. This isn't about cutting joy or living small. It's about realizing that peace doesn't come from earning more. It comes from wanting less than your income can support. If this perspective helped you see your situation more clearly, you might enjoy more conversations like this. You can subscribe if you want to keep thinking a little more calmly about money.